What is up, guys, and welcome back. Oh, actually, welcome to a live commentary thing that I'm doing here on my new short film, Mr.Benedict. And hopefully you have seen it. And if you haven't, there is a link to it down in the description below. But I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already seen it. So I just thought of doing this because why not? I can give my little fun facts throughout watching my short film. So with that said, let's get down to it because let's just do it. Let's not stop wasting time and let's just do it. So yeah, let's get down to it. Let me just make sure it's all good. There we go. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, are we okay? I think we're okay. All right, cool. Let's do this. Kid Critic Productions presents. Oh, that's me. Oh, baby. Prima's Lounge. Crowded in the day, empty in the night. In a few seconds from now, Mr. Benedict will walk into this very lounge. All right, now I'm going to pause it here real quick because, as I just said, it's Prima's Lounge. All right, Prima's Lounge. Now, here's a fun fact for y'all. The reason I called it Prima's Lounge is because as I was writing the narration for this, I was listening to Louis Prima in the background, and I was like, Prima's Lounge. That sounds actually nice. So that's why I ended up calling it Prima's Lounge. So here we go. In need of the same drink he orders almost every night. Mr. Benedict has ordered it so much that he just calls it the usual. But tonight, Mr. Benedict will get more than just the usual. Snap. And speak of the devil, here he comes now. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, wasn't expecting to see you here this late. Well, I like to come and check up on my favorite bartender in the city. That's funny because,
By the way, if you haven't noticed, I've gotten a haircut between when I shot this and now, just in case.
The phone with my mother, who actually told me that same exact thing. Well, she's not wrong. Well, it's nice to know I have some sort of fan base out there. So, what would you like to drink for tonight? Just give me the usual. The usual it is then.
I like the usual.
So, how's the family been doing?
All right, I'm gonna keep pausing it a lot during this, so yeah, fair warning. If you're wondering what basically inspired me to make this, or like what inspired this story, this was inspired by Rod Sterling's The Twilight Zone, but to be specific, it was inspired by, I think it was the 14th episode of the first season, and I think it's called The Third Planet from the Sun. I believe that's what it's called, Third Planet from the Sun. That's what this short was inspired from. So, I mean, if you haven't seen the episode, or if you haven't seen Twilight Zone at all, make sure you check it out, and then maybe you'll get hooked on Twilight Zone. Who knows? But I mean, it's a great show. But that's what this was inspired from.
Can't lie to you, it's not good right now. I mean, the wife barely speaks to me. She says I always come home from work in a bad mood, or whatever that means. And the kids barely look at me. I don't know why. But then when they do look at me, they look at me like if I was a criminal that just walked into their house. So then, I don't know, maybe it's their mother filling their heads with a bunch of nonsense and telling you wouldn't be surprised.
I did not write that line.
It's the law for me to
came up with came up with that on the spot.
Understand it. Then why are you here? Shouldn't you be at home and fixing all this? Well, frankly, this is the only place where I'm happy at right now. So, cheers. Well, I'm glad my place gives you some sort of happiness, but if I were you, I'd probably go home and sort this mess out before it gets any worse. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I chose to become a Voyager to provide for my family. Definitely not for me, because if I was doing it for me, then I would have become a podist or something, which was my dream job since I was a kid, but I didn't do that. Why? Well, because I needed to provide for.
By the way, podist, I don't think it's an actual job, so yeah, just, pop that in my head, because spoilers if you haven't seen this, but since this doesn't take place on Earth, I had to put little hints that shows, this, once you watch it again, you kind of notice, now I see why. You see little hints that this doesn't take place on Earth, like, again, the podist thing. And then once the other dude shows up, the evil guy, I'll call him, because to be honest, I never really came up with a name for him, but the evil guy, that's why he pays, like, I don't know, like 65 for his water, because 65, like, that doesn't make, it's like you don't pay $65 for water here, at least not today, unless we live in a Mad Max world.
That's just something they don't understand. So, this tastes a little bit better today. I'm not gonna lie. Not too strong, just right. I don't know. What are you looking at? Ever since this place is open, I don't think I've ever seen anybody look at those pictures back there before.
Very ominous.
Hey, may I help you with something over there?
Oh, yes. I apologize. I was just admiring these pieces of art you have back here. Yeah, well, they sure tend to draw in a crowd. Well, I'm sure they do. I mean, they are truly magnificent. Where'd you get them? I don't.
And then the toothpick, that the evil dude has throughout the short film, that I got that idea from Peaky Blinders, which I posted about not too long ago, because one of the characters played by Adrian Brody, I believe his character was named Luca Changretta, I believe that was his name. His character had a toothpick, and I was like, oh, that's pretty evil, and I kind of like that. So that's where I got the toothpick thing from. Here we go. All right.
I don't really remember when we got them. I mean, we got them when we first moved in, so they've been around for quite some time. So, anyways, what would you like to drink for tonight? Oh, I think I'm good with water.
Water?
Whatever it is. Not gonna lie though, when you came in here, I thought you were gonna order something fancy. Yeah, well, I don't usually like to drink while I'm working. Working? Are you like undercover or something? I can't really give it away, to be honest with you.
Oh, yes, very suspicious.
I understand. But the water's 65, by the way. Oh yes, I apologize. Here you go. Thank you.
See, he said the water's 65.
Yeah, we had to raise the prices for the water, and actually a lot of places around here have had to raise their prices for water because of all the stuff that's been going down, making it more difficult to get water.
Huh. Maybe they do live in a Mad Max world. Not that much water? I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah,
just in case they didn't notice.
Definitely is a shame. Hey, you're a Voyager, aren't you? Let me guess. The pin gave it away. Yeah, I've seen some Voyagers walk around wearing the same pin. Do all Voyagers have to wear it? Oh, no. Not every Voyager wears the pin. Only the ones who want to feel important wear the pin. It must be fun though, working with all the spaceship.
Other fun fact. That line right there where I was talking about, the people who feel important wear the pin and all that nonsense. I actually continued on talking that line, but I was like, they don't really need the extra stuff, so I cut it there. So that wasn't the actual full line that I wrote, but yeah, little fun fact there.
Oh, it's probably the funnest thing you'll ever do in your life. Oh yeah, definitely a fun time.
Fun time.
I've actually heard some things that talked about you guys planning on going to Planet X.
Other fun fact, the short film was actually originally called Planet X, but I was like, I like Mr. Benedict. That sounds cooler. I think Mr. Benedict sounds cooler, and I think most of you would agree. Might be wrong, you know.
Where'd
So.
you hear that? Oh, well, let's just say that I like to read. Oh, I actually like to read too myself. I mean, I probably read the same article that you read. Really? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the headline was, "Don't believe everything you read." So it is true then. Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that Planet X is real. But if it were false, you would have probably just denied it.
That conversation right there actually went on a little bit longer, but I felt it got a little too repetitive, so I cut the conversation down. So, yeah,
You know,
fun
as
fact.
much as I love to stick around and listen to the rest of this lovely conversation, I think I'm gonna go around back and check out some stuff. So, yeah. You know, I've actually spoken to some of your kind before. Some of my kind. Aren't we one of the same? No.
No.
You guys are almost like gods to us. Wow, I definitely wasn't expecting that. Seriously, I mean, flying in space and going to different galaxies and different planets and all that. I mean, not just anybody can do that. Yeah, well, you see, I don't actually go out into space and do all of that. But it still must be jaw-dropping, though. I mean, practically witnessing history in front of you. Look, I know you mean well, but I kind of came here to have a drink in peace and quiet, so... Oh, I understand. Thank you. But once you finish your drink, then can I ask you some questions? No. Once I finish my drink, I will go home, go to bed, and dream about how lovely this conversation has been. Oh, well, in that...
Now, if you guys are wondering why I shot this in black and white and all that, there wasn't really a main reason behind it, but I kind of think probably the inspiration from Twilight Zone that definitely had a hand in that. So that was definitely part of the reason why I shot it in black and white, but there wasn't like a main reason or anything that of why I shot it in black and white. So there you go, just in case you were wondering.
Let me ask you now before you go. Did you not hear a single thing I just said? No, not really. My goodness, what do I have to do to have a drink in peace and quiet?
Another thing that I like about that part is that I like how the music is kind of like perfectly timed, like when I drink the water or the drink, which is actually Coca-Cola, by the way. I wasn't drinking, okay? Gosh. I was drinking Coca-Cola, but I kind of like how the music is timed with that, which I definitely didn't plan on that happening, so that was a cool little thing.
Well, why don't you look at that? I finished my drink, so I guess I'll be on my way. You have a good rest of your night. 455 Winchester Boulevard.
Oh man, it's about to get serious. Serious time, people.
How do you know that address? Well, for starters, I know that your parents live on East Parkway. I know that I have my guys waiting outside of their house, as well as yours, where your wife and children sleep, and with one phone call...
That's not good.
Let's just hope it doesn't get to that, Mr. Benedict. Okay, then. How do I know you're telling the truth?
Okay, now I'm allowed to have issues with my own short films. I know I know I'm not Mr. Perfect. I know that there's lots of problems with this, but it always makes me laugh that like out of nowhere he knows his name and he has like no reaction to it. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Benedict." It's like there's no reaction to that. Like he doesn't react to him basically knowing his name without him telling him. So yeah, interesting.
Well, let's call and find out, shall we? Let's see here.
Hello, sir. This is Frank 207.
Yes, are you watching them?
Yes, sir. They just arrived home. Is there any issue?
No, 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 no.
Also, another fun fact: the person that he's talking, well, they're not people, but the other, I'll just say they're in the script. I had their species called Levians. I just called them Levians because, well, why not? Just a name that popped into my head. But the Levian that he's on the phone with, since his name was Frank 307, which was uh when I first started writing this, the original title of the script was Frank 307 or Frank 3 something. It was some number, but that's where I got that name from. And again, kind of showing that they're on a different planet, because I don't think there's anybody in this planet called Frank 307. Why is his name Frank 307? I don't know.
No, you guys are doing a good job. You guys are doing a good job. But actually, if you don't hear from me, let's say 60 minutes, burn the place down.
Whoa,
Yes, sir.
brutal.
Why such a sad face, Mr. Benedict? When I walked in here, you seemed like you were having a good old time. Now, not so much. What do you want? Oh, Mr. Benedict. No, I think I just realized what might just cheer you up a little. I think I might just know what would cheer you up. The usual, right, Mr. Benedict?
The usual.
See, that's what you order almost every night here at the lounge. A drink for your stresses. I'm not thirsty. Well, I'm not going to force you to drink it, so. How's life for you, Mr. Benedict? How's life? Is that how you do things? You come in here and threaten my family, then you ask me how's life? Well, if we're going to be working together, I think it would be best that, we got to know each other a little bit. You're some animal, you know that? No, Mr. Benedict, I only want something, just like everybody else on this planet, just like you for that matter. You see, ever since I was a child, I dreamt about becoming one of you guys. I dreamt about going to different galaxies, going and visiting different planets, making history. That was my dream, ever since I was a child. Then I come to find out about Planet X, which can neither confirm nor deny it's an actual thing, even though I have more evidence than you could ever imagine that proves Planet X is in fact real. How would you even get the evidence that proves Planet X is real? Because like I said, Mr. Benedict, you're not the only Voyager I've spoken to. Did you threaten their families too? No, Mr. Benedict, no, I did not. You see, I kind of like to try different techniques, see what works best, but my sources tell me that you guys, well, I guess not you guys, because you don't actually go out into space, but that the actual Voyagers that actually go out into space, that they plan on going to Planet X 6 years from now. To tell you the truth, I probably know more than you do. Okay, so
Burn.
What does this have to do with me? Well, one of your colleagues tells me that you're the one who determines who goes into the Voyager Academy and who doesn't. So I want you to enter me through the Academy just in time for the voyage to Planet X. You see, I don't really understand because, you could have applied yourself to the Academy. Oh, I did. Oh, yes, I applied many times, actually. But they declined me every single application I submitted. Why, I still do not know. For all I know, maybe it was you who declined my application for the...
Now, when he says this, maybe it was you who declined my application for the Academy. Later on in the short, in one of the versions of the scripts that I wrote, the other dude, the good guy, I guess I'll say, he actually said, "Oh, I do remember you. Your father was a drug addict. Was addicted to alcohol, and then by the end of his line, he basically says, "Oh, you're not a Voyager. You're just another bum on the street," which is a line that ended up being in there. But I took out the rest of that line because I was like, okay, well, he probably has gone through many applications, and I don't think he'd necessarily remember one. Maybe, but I was like, I don't know. So I took it out for that reason.
Academy? Look, I'll do what you want. Just don't hurt my family. Oh, I know you will. You wouldn't want what happened to the little bartender happen to your family. What did you do with him? You know, your colleagues also tell me that you've been having some family trouble. It will pass eventually, whatever it is you and your family are going through. I mean, me and my family, we had our issues, but I believe that they've been fixed for the better.
I had to do so many takes of these lines. It got insane because of all the background noise that was in the background. I mean, whether you're talking about crows and loud cars and planes and helicopters, it was just it was bonkers. But yeah, it was pretty exhausting.
And maybe the same thing will happen with you and your family. That is, if you do your job, because if you don't, well, you probably know what I'm going to say next. You know, it truly is a shame. What is, Mr. Benedict? That you can't even recognize who you are. You're no Voyager. You're not even close to one. You're just another bum on the street. Look,
That's a
I honestly
sick
don't
burn
care
there.
what you think about me. All I care about is that you do your job. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention that not only do I want you to get me into the academy, but I want you to make sure, absolutely sure, that I am one of those Voyagers that goes to Planet X. I can't do that. I don't have the power to do something like that. Well, I'm afraid you don't have a choice, Mr. Benedict. You know, did you ever think of me?
You know, one day I'd love to make like a movie about that whole 6 years, because I feel like that could be a pretty cool, intense movie, even though we already know the outcome of it. But I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Or maybe not, just leave it as it is, which, you know, most likely will most likely happen.
Not destined to become a Voyager. Mr. Benedict, this career has been a dream of mine ever since I was a child. Yeah, I think I kind of heard you the first time you said that.
Yeah.
Okay then, and do you honestly think I'm going to go out there and look for another job because somebody said no to my dream? Mr. Benedict, I'd rather die than live the rest of my life telling somebody that I failed to get to my dream career and become as miserable as you. Because coming to a lounge every night and drinking is not something I want to be doing for the rest of my life. You see, to you this may be a job, but to me it's more than that. And I'm willing to risk anything to get it. And if that means I have to put somebody like you down, so be it.
Not gonna lie, that was pretty fire.
Here's some piece of work, you know that? Look, I know you will come through with what I ask. Also think about it this way. When I become a game-changing Voyager and I go to Planet X, one of the first Voyagers to ever go to Planet X, and then I tell this planet of ours that Mr. Benedict helped me get to Planet X and become that game-changing Voyager, then maybe you won't have to wear that pin of yours. Maybe you'll feel some sort of significance.
That was pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie. I like that line. That's good. That's good. Good job. Good job.
Look, Mr. Benedict, you're doing a good thing here. You're making a child's dream come true. And it is true what I said earlier. You guys are basically like gods to a lot of us, but I guess I'm not a lot of us anymore, aren't I? No, I guess not. Okay then, well, I'll call you in the next couple days for more information. Wait, you don't even know my phone number.
Yeah.
If I could get your address and your parents' address, wouldn't you think that I'd be able to get your phone number as well? Look, just please don't hurt my family. Just promise me that. You're the only one that has the power to do such a thing, Mr. Benedict. I'm only asking for a simple favor. You know, I heard good things about you, but after tonight, I'm a bit disappointed. Have a good rest of your night, Mr. Benedict.
That was pretty good too. My goodness.
Well,
I actually didn't plan on saying anything here, but I don't know. I just felt kind of awkward. I felt like I needed to say something, so I was like, I'll just say this.
so much for a peace and quiet night.
I kind of like how he looks at the paintings too, or how I look at. I should guess how I like how I look at the paintings. So that was a good, cool little thing there. Since that's how the other evil dude started off by looking at the paintings. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, my goodness. I was wondering when you're going to come in here. Let me guess. Working late again?
Other thing, he's not actually wearing the pin. So what the evil guy said, or the evil Levian, I should say, ended up being true since, he's not wearing the pin anymore. So what he said was going to happen ended up happening, other than obviously the Planet X thing. So yeah, just in case you didn't notice.
And, before you ask, I will have the usual. The usual it is then.
Do you think he ever gets tired of having the usual? I mean, you get, it's like, don't you want to like change it up a bit? I don't know. Maybe he does.
Here you go. Hey, do you mind if I go around back and take my medicine? I still haven't taken it today. Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I still can't believe it's been 6 years since I've started taking this stuff, and I still forget to take it.
Well,
now, if you're wondering what happened to the bartender that night, they really just like knocked him out. They didn't really like kill him. They just wanted to make sure that that he didn't see what was going on in there. So yeah, that's what happened. The evil dude got some of his henchmen, did some of that dirty work. So that's what kind of happened. That's why he needs to take medicine for his head. So yeah, there you go.
well, it still helps with your head and all that, right?
Yeah, it still does the job. I did take one good thing out of that night.
And what was that?
To not take a day for granted. Because to tell you the truth, I probably should have.
That was a legit reaction because Coca-Cola was sitting in there for ages or for a while. And, if soda's sitting there, it tends not to taste so well after a while. So that was a legit reaction. So, yeah.
Been dead that night. I probably already told you that before, haven't I?
Well, frankly, you have told me that before, but I guess I don't mind hearing it again.
Well, I am the one serving you drinks almost every night, so.
And who's the one paying for them and helping you keep the lights on?
Yeah, and don't you have a family or something to take care of right now?
So, do you want me to stop paying you for my drinks? Mr. Benedict, the day you stop paying me for your drinks is the day we are 6 feet under the ground. Yeah, I actually can't disagree with you there. Speaking of which,
I kind of find it odd because, I'm basically talking to a wall right there. So, I guess that's props to me for my great acting, phenomenal.
What happened to the voyage the other day? Did you? Yeah, I heard that you're...
Almost like Joaquin Phoenix talking to a computer, basically. No, I'm not really. I'm not as talented as Joaquin Phoenix, so yeah, sadly. But we'll see.
Guy and all the other Voyagers that they crash landed on a different planet or something. I wanted to bring it up to you and get more information, but I didn't really know how to bring it up since it's probably a big thing at work for you right now. Yes, it is a big thing at work right now. Actually, we just learned today that they crash landed on a planet far away from here that goes by the name of Earth. So we're planning another voyage to go get them. Well, that must suck. If
now you can kind of see the connection between that episode of The Twilight Zone, if you've seen that episode. So you could definitely see the connection there. And that I always had that twist in mind from the very beginning when I started writing this thingamabobber. So yeah.
If I were to crash land on a different planet that's far away from here, I'd, well, most likely be dead. You know, I haven't really thought about it that way. I think the Voyagers that went or were supposed to go to Planet X, I think they deserved what was coming to them. I think maybe they deserve to die on a different planet, you know? Just another way of thinking. Okay then. Well, I'm gonna go around back and do a few things, unless you want me to stick around and chat away with you. No, it's alright. Do what you need to do. Alrighty then. Yeah.
Do what you need to do. It's funny because I actually didn't really plan on freezing it there, but I accidentally pressed a button that froze it, and I was like, hey, that actually doesn't look too bad. So yeah.
I've got you under my skin.
I get you. I've been my heart and me.
So deep in my heart that you're really a part.
And then I kind of wanted to end this off almost like The Shining, basically, how it ends off with like that picture of Jack and all the rest of those people and the overlook. So that's, and ended off with the two paintings there. So it was a little bit inspired by The Shining, I guess you can say.
I've got you.
And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed the short film. I'm definitely proud of it. I mean, yeah, it has a couple issues. It does. But I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid short film in my opinion. And hopefully you think the same. And if you don't, leave a comment down below. What could I do better for the future short films? And I already got the next one. I'm already working on the next one. And I already got plans for 2 other ones after that one. So definitely look out for that. And with that said, make sure to like and subscribe because that is very important. And leave a comment down below what you thought of my short film. Did you think it was good? Did you think it was great? Did you think it was bad? What should I work on to get better? Definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And as always in every single video, look out for the next video or review. And peace.